Hey everybody, Jedi Jack Luther. I'm back again. I actually was working on this video and then the wife called. So I interrupted the whole video, which is fine because I had to redo some stuff anyway, so it gives me a chance to get back into order here. So this is a video I was going to make last Thursday, didn't work out, so we're just going to go with it today. So we got the official what's in the box. As we said, we don't open a box anymore because it's just too troublesome, takes up too much time, so we just have this box which reveals what we got in the mail. And what we got in the mail, what's in the box, bam! We got Mask. That's right. Probably one of the more popular toy lines in the mid 80s, about 85. Kenner knocked a home run with this one, taking the creative idea of taking characters that wore helmets or masks, which kids love to have, but have that element of disguise, and then taking the idea of transformation and putting it into the vehicles. So what we have here, I got this in last week, this is the masked vehicle, this is Stinger, and the driver is Bruno Shepard. So we're going to start with the driver first. I want to show him off. Bruno Shepard. Take the mask off. Bruno Shepard looks like a dude from Mad Max. He's got a orange mohawk type deal going on there. The mask figures, of course, were very small, but if they were too big, the vehicles would be really expensive. And here's his mask. Mask is called Magna Beam. It emitted a beam of magnetic energy. We're going to put him off to the side here and focus on the car itself. This is a Pontiac GTO. Most of the cars in Mask were based on real vehicles. So this is based on a real car. As you probably noticed, even though the mask is very, doesn't match up with his uniform, it matches up with the color scheme of the car. So this car has the transformation is kind of weird. The chrome engine thing here shifts up, if you can get it to shift up. Oh my word. Well, this is embarrassing. Alright, let's talk about the car a little bit more until I get this thing to work. It was just working. The first video I did, this thing opened up just fine. So I'm going to, there we go. Bam, there we go. I have to push it a certain way, lift that piece up. Alright, so the Pontiac GTO transforms into an armored tank. It's got tank treads on either side that pop up. The wheels in the hubcaps have little gun turrets. You lift those up, and then you have guns that can encircle the whole thing. This part's supposed to become like a radar scope, not sure what. The front part pops up in front of the windshield as an armored plating. The trunk actually works, and in the back we have basically a bicycle chain looking device with a claw spring loaded, can capture enemies and hold them. And of course it's called and it's missing a few pieces. The first piece it's missing is a mortar cannon that sticks to the front here and projects out. It's missing that one, and in a lot of examples they're all missing that part. The other part is, if you notice on the sides they have popped up right here, the orange part, and here, it's supposed to have chrome tailpipes, and those are missing. They would lift up and become like sniper scopes. And of course, it's called the Stinger because it's supposed to have a scorpion theme to it, with the chain thing being the scorpion's tail. And I guess the chrome pipes would be looking like the claws or something like that. I can see how that can go. It's a really cool vehicle. Mask toys, however, have a few issues when trying to collect them. Most people who've already collected their mask stuff have already figured this out, but if you get into it, If you are trying to think, hey, I'd like to collect something from the 80s, I recommend a mask is a really nice toy to collect. The vehicles are really beautiful. They resemble real vehicles, and just in vehicle mode, they're wonderful to display with their figures and everything. But what the problem is like with this vehicle particularly, if you go look up a mass Stinger on eBay, every example is going to be missing the chrome pipes and the mortar cannon. And the mortar cannon alone is about $15 to $25 depending on who's selling it. That can be quite a bit of money just to buy that. I've yet to see the chrome pipes loose, and when I get those, I may have to jump on them because they're not easy to find. But once I have those particular pieces, this will be a completed example. Unlike Star Wars, where if you go on eBay, you find a lot of repros. People reproduce the little guns and everything. Anything out for masks is going to be original parts because nothing got reproduced from that series. But they are wonderful toys. However, if you want them complete with everything and you don't want to go hunting, you're going to pay the price for it. This probably complete is $50, $60. I got this Stinger for about $20, which is a good deal because close that back up. The transformation still works. The springs and everything still unlock and allow everything to do what it needs to do. The figure came with it and came with the mask. It's in really good condition. That way you didn't have to hunt down the mask. Sometimes can be, $5 to $10 depending on the mask and who the character is. This is actually not my only mask toy. I actually have the jackhammer, which I bought from Comic Monster down in Salisbury. Jackhammer was the big black truck looking thing. When you press the bumper, the back part of the truck, like the cover of the bed of the truck, lifts up. You flip the spoiler back and it reveals two guns, and it becomes a seat for the driver, who is Cliff Daggard, and he comes with his torch mask. I got all that, and it's an original mask too. I'll explain that in a minute. The hood of the car lifts up over the windshield as armored plating, and the grill pops down and reveals machine guns that as you roll the vehicle forward, the guns go in and out. It's really clever. That piece is actually missing a little machine gun that sits in front of where Cliff would be when he's on the extended up gun tower. And that one's probably about $15 as well. Once I get those completed, I'll work on other projects, getting a few other mass vehicles. It's not a main focus of a collection. In other words, as I get these pieces, when I get them, I get them. I'm not going to try to go actively hunt too hard because they can get quite expensive, and the missing parts are not cheap either. But I wanted to go over why I said why Cliff Daggard came with the original mask. When they first made mask toys, the masks were just basically small helmets that fit over the head. They didn't stay on very well. They came off very quickly or easily. They would get loose and get lost. And now you have your figure without the mask, which completely is the whole point of the toy, basically. So Bruno Shepard's mask is a version 2. And a version 2 mask has this extra piece that goes down, and these two pieces right here. They clip to the body much better. I'm going to shake him. That ain't coming off. That's stuck on there. So version 2 masks have these extra pieces right here that cover the chest and onto the back to hold it on, kind of like clip it onto the figure. So version 1 mask doesn't have those extra pieces. It's just literally the helmet that fits on the person's head. If you watch Mask, Hondo has just this visor-looking thing that goes over his head, and that's it. In version 2, they added all that extra plastic to it, and to be quite honest, it made it look bad because it didn't look like the cartoon anymore. But I guess they were trying to do something to keep the mask on the figures. Okay, Bruno back in there. Bruno's right hand has a painted-on glove, and it's in this kind of position. He's not DJing. It actually, if you put the figure in the car, because you can't see it, it's right in there, it's small. His hand actually grabs the gear shift, and it fits on there perfectly. So it's pretty cool. Mask toys are fun, and they're wonderful to have, and they display really well. If you can find them where they're what you're looking for when you buy them, if you want to pick them up cheap and then worry about getting the parts later, just make sure you can get the figure with the mask in the initial purchase, so you don't have to run and go get that. Make sure the vehicle works. They should tell you whether the transformation mechanism works or not. Try to get that one, because then you're going to have to take it apart and fix it. And if you just don't want to bother with it, you're going to have to really hunt down and make sure that you're getting a working toy. There are some people out there who love to tinker with this stuff, and they'll buy a broken up one for dirt cheap and repair it themselves. But if you don't have the time, you probably put a little bit more money into making sure it transforms. Now, if you want the whole thing complete, you're really going to be shelling out money. We're talking this complete would be about at least $50 or so, $50-$60, depending on the condition of the scuffs or paint wear or anything, chrome wear. The chrome on here is beautiful. So I have two now. Once they get fixed up, and I'm not gonna buy any more until I fix these up, because I don't want to get too many masked vehicles that need repairs, and then just try to do all those repairs one right after another. I'm going to start with two. Once they're fixed up and they're good, then I'll move on to maybe another one or two, depending on condition. But they're great toys. This is 80s right here. 85 was in the middle of the great toy thing going on, and it's a wonderful piece to have. I absolutely love mask. We'll pick up a few more pieces here and there, and we'll have them on the show here. I'm going to end this. I'm going to end this video now. I have something else I have to show. But for this episode of What's in Box, we went over Pontiac GTO Stinger from Mask with Bruno Shepard. Wonderful car. I like this one. It's not really expensive. Missing the pieces, you can just have to pick the pieces up. If you're collecting Mask sporadically, you need to have this one. This one's a really cool piece. So for What's in the Box, we had Mask. I'll be back in just a little bit with another video. We're going to add on to it, and I should be caught up on everything that came in the mail, and then we can play around with What's in the Box.